Okay, in response, I tap 2 mana, and I'm going to talk about Magic the Gathering and Final Fantasy II. If you don't know me, hello, my name is Dean Dane, and I thought it'd be fun to go through each of the Final Fantasy games and discuss what the characters might be in the upcoming Final Fantasy collab with Magic the Gathering. So, let's get right into it, shall we? For the second game, the roster has grown quite a bit from the 6 characters that we had in Final Fantasy I. This game came out in 1989 here in the States, and I don't really remember it as well as the first one, if I'm being honest, so I had to do a little bit of research into it. We're going to start with Firion up here. He is the main character. He's good with weapons. He's in Zydia is talked about as having a bunch of different items, swords, axes, etc. For that reason, I think he's going to be Boros. He's going to be an equipment kind of centric character. I have a cat crawling on me. I don't know if she's going to come through, but Maria, who's another one of the main characters. These 3 are related. Technically, these 4 are related, but that's spoilers for the game, so go play it. For Maria, I'm thinking green-white Selesnya. She uses a bow initially, and her main weapon, or ultimate weapon, is a bow. And so I think she'd probably have reach. She'd probably be an archer-type character. Plus, I kind of like the idea, right? So red, white, green, white. Hold on, there's more to that. Of all these characters sort of rotating around each other as far as the color pie is concerned. So Maria, yeah, she knows holy as well. So maybe the white can some curative magics, that sort of thing. Guy down here is our resident fighter. He's got a really good strength score starting out. These 3, Firion, Maria, and Guy, have to be in your party the whole time. The 4th character does rotate, which is where a lot of these people come in. So, Guy, he's not fast. He's got one of the slowest speeds in the game. I'm thinking red-green, no haste, but very attack-focused. You know, dude wants to be turned sideways, for sure. Plus, then we got, red-white, green-white, red-green. They kind of complement each other, right? You can have them all in the same deck if you wanted to. Leon here is actually really interesting. He's one of the first Dark Knights in the game. Doesn't really have a play style that reflects that. We don't get that till later. But I found that interesting. I'm thinking he's probably green-black, right? Dark Knight, but the green tied with his sister. Him and Maria and Leon are actually like physically related, whereas Firion and Guy are kind of adopted into the family, if I remember correctly. So Leon, green-black, kind of juxtaposes his sister a little bit with the green-white on there. And like I said, he's a Dark Knight. Minwu is our resident healer of the game. He is the white mage of this whole adventure. To that reason, he's also one of the only people who can learn Ultima. So that's pretty rad. One of the strongest spells in the game. So I think that he'd likely be blue-white for that reason. Blue-white for the healing and the spell casting. Joseph, our boy Joseph here, is a monk, so I'm kind of thinking he's going to be a tricolor, which is interesting because I don't have a lot of those on here for this game. I'm thinking he's going to be blue, white, and red, as a lot of monks these days are. I know that they can also be in green, but I do think that that kind of fits his play style. He's got a lot of good physical abilities, but also the ability to kind of level up pretty well in the game. That was Joseph. So Gordon down here, Gordon and Scott at the very bottom here, they're brothers. I didn't use them very much in my game, and I don't really recall a lot about them, to be honest. So, Gordon, I said, was white-black. He's a spear user. His stats aren't great in the game, as far as I remember. Like I said, I barely used the dude. He's not very memorable. Scott, his brother, I think is blue-red. He's kind of the red mage of the game. His stats were a lot better, and he was a lot more useful. Though he's not playable in the base game, he's only playable in a different version of the game. I'm being attacked. Layla, right here, is our resident. Stop clawing me, cat. Is our resident thief. For that reason, I think she's blue-black. She's probably unblockable. She's probably a 2/2. She's going to get in and just, get some damage. And then finally, probably one of the most interesting characters, Rickard, or Gareth, or Edward Highwind, depending on what version you played. He had 3 different names. Crazy. I knew him as Rickard. I'm thinking he's a Dragoon, right? Dragoons in the Final Fantasy series are known for jumping. So to that effect, I think he's either blue-white, to do like a flying strategy where he flies up. You pay some mana, he flies, hits them, loses it at end of turn, or maybe blue red where like if you give him flying, right? If you give him some sort of aura or whatnot, then he gets +1/+0 for each aura or instant or sorcery or whatnot attached to him. So I'm thinking either blue white or blue red, maybe blue white red as well. That would be 2 characters who are blue white red for this game. I'm thinking pump spells for giving him jump. In blue red, so instant sorceries, enchantments, etc. And then for blue white, if he's blue white instead, I think fly would be his jump ability. Also, sorry, pardon me. Fun fact: he's the first dragoon in the game. So Kane lovers rejoice. This is where he comes from. You might notice his last name, Highwind. So yeah, that's kind of my approach to these characters here in this awesome game, Final Fantasy II. If these characters are made into cards in Magic the Gathering, we'll see if I'm right. Tune in tomorrow for Day 3, Final Fantasy III. We'll see you then.